My name is Jim McGillivray, and welcome to the Pipe Box, your source for all things piping. If you find this video useful, please give it a like, and please subscribe to this YouTube channel to see more videos like this. We're going to go over some exercises here today, and you can print out these exercises by going back to the description of this video on my YouTube channel. You will find a link to a PDF there. Today I would like to do with you the Crunluath A-Mach movement, a Piobaireachd movement. Sounds like this. When played on a well-tuned bagpipe at the end of a good Piobaireachd, it's a mesmerizing variation. Technically, it is a virtuoso variation, but it's not as hard to play as it appears. It divides very nicely into two parts: a grip on B or C, or a D throw on D, followed by an open dray movement, which we will talk about in a moment. It's a difficult movement, but I find it more difficult to play, say, 30 or 40 Crunluaths in a row than it is to play a Crunluath A-Mach variation. So take it slow and easy and keep an open mind. I'm assuming for the purposes of this video that you have watched and understood my videos on the grip or the liamluath movement, the dray movement, and the Crunluath. You need to understand and be able to play these movements fairly well in order to master the Crunluath A-Mach. Okay, let's get into it. As I said, the A-Mach movement divides nicely into two parts: grips on B and C, throw on D, followed by an open E-dray. The first thing we are going to work on is the grip on B and C and the D throw. And the first exercise I'm going to give you will allow you to work on these movements in isolation. Let's hear the exercise now. I like to think that the grip movements on B and C are fairly straightforward if you are a good grip player. The movement on D, which is a D throw played from B, is a little odd. It's a bit contrived, but that's the way it's been traditionally played, and musically it seems to work quite well. As you're playing these grips and the D throw, don't try to play them as fast as you can. In fact, play them nice and open so that the overall effect is rippling and very textured. The idea is not to play them in a blip. Also, in your grips, make sure the appropriate fingers are hitting the chanter or coming up from the chanter at the same time at the beginning and the end of the grip. And make sure there is lots of low G in your grips. The D throw movement you can play as a closed movement, or as an open movement. I'm not going to go into the differences between the open and closed D throw here. You can find those details in my rhythmic fingerwork and Piobaireachd fingerwork technical tutors. Okay, let's move on now to the second part of the A-Mach, which is the open dray movement. An open dray movement is a movement where the E and F grace notes are not played on low A the way we normally see them. They're actually played on the theme note. So, for example, from B, instead of playing this, we're playing this. And from C, and from D. I have an exercise to help you work on these various dray movements. In this exercise, you're going to see a mix of dray movements from low G, low A, which will be closed, and then the open dray movements from B, C, and D. Here's the exercise. Make sure as you play that exercise that you play the E grace note in the dray movement on the beat all the time, like this. The E grace note in the Crunluath or in the dray movement in the A-Mach is on a pulse. Okay, now let's move to a more meat and potatoes exercise. This takes both parts of the A-Mach movement, the grip and the open E-dray, and it puts them together. However, we put a little pause in the middle for now, just so you can get the context of the movements together and space them out well. So it'll be something like this. Let's hear the whole exercise. That pause in the middle of the A-Mach movement, I've put that there to help you control the movement as you learn how to play it. Over time, you want that little pause to be reduced until it's almost not there at all. Having said that, if you're new to Piobaireachd or perhaps playing in your first Piobaireachd competition where you're going to play a Crunluath A-Mach variation, most judges won't mind a little pause in the A-Mach in that spot while you get your feet under you as a Piobaireachd player. So don't rush your Crunluath A-Mach together until it's ready. So let's go to our final exercise where we do put the A-Mach together, and we put it together with the Crunluath as well. As I've said in these videos many times before, don't play any of these exercises faster than you're technically capable of playing them. If you play past your technical capability, you'll be practicing how to play poorly, and you will get very good at it. Here is our final Crunluath A-Mach exercise. You'll notice in this exercise that I play a standard Crunluath on low G, low A, E, F, high G, and high A. The A-Mach movement gets played on B, C, and D only. If you're new to the Crunluath A-Mach, keep the components separate until you can play each of them crisply, clearly, and accurately, then put it together. At that point, you can find a simple pibroch with a standard Crunluath A-Mach variation and have at it. There are more A-Mach and Crunluath exercises in my pibroch fingerwork technical tutor, which is available from me or from pretty much any dealer. That's it for the Crunluath A-Mach for today. Take it slow and easy with this rippling, textured movement. From me, Jim McGillivray at the Pipe Box, good piping.